Welcome to the Footy Wrap for round 17, Paul. The shock loss this week. Premier Steve Brack's announcing his retirement.
No, that wasn't a shock compared to what took place at the MCG on Saturday night when the Brisbane Lions had their way with Collingwood.
What was the damage for Collingwood?
97 points and pride just removed altogether.
Was it a shocking performance by Collingwood, or did Brisbane really show that they're a
mixture
contender
of both? Yeah? A mixture of both. It looked like a vintage Brisbane. Oh, and he's flashy, isn't he? Jonathan Brown,
Simon
strong.
Black, your man.
Yeah. Top performances, but I tell you, the problem being that we all talk about Geelong's lid and how they're keeping the lid firmly on Geelong's success. That Collingwood doesn't have a lid.
It got blown off in about round 6, I think.
No, not even then. I don't think they even bothered to purchase one. In fact, when they picked the pan up from Harvey Norman, they didn't even take the lid home. No, we don't need it.
What pan?
Oh, the pan that is the success of the season.
Hawthorn suffering a similar problem, Paul. Their early season form seems to have gone down the gurgler. A loss to the Kangaroos has sent them tumbling.
Yeah, well, minus Sam Mitchell and Buddy Franklin, who pulled out moments before the game.
Did they?
And anyone that had a bet on that game for Hawthorn to win, anyone in particular, I'm not talking about anyone, but if you might have had a bet, you'd be very disappointed and very pissed off with Alistair Clarkson. This looks like we're in an American high school bathroom, girls' bathroom, prom night.
Doing our hair.
Do you think Darren thinks I'm sexy?
What do you think about Channel 7's coverage? The ratings are up, Paul, and people are starting to say that the footage...
I'm still not satisfied.
No?
No.
And what about Channel 10? Because on the weekend they had a new initiative which a lot of people found absolutely fascinating, and that is this new heart rate monitors all the players wear. Let's just have a quick example now. If we just put down the bottom of the screens here, we're wearing heart rate monitors, which have been supplied to us by the AFL.
Which I think's rubbish. I don't think they work.
Well, we're just going to monitor both of our heart rates during the game, which is what Channel 10 did during their coverage of that game.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit sceptical as to how it could be useful.
Yours is a little bit high already, actually. Have
well,
you checked your blood pressure
recently? I ate a lot of fried foods.
But Channel 10 have done a reasonably good job. I know you're a fan of Robert Walls and...
They're nothing. They're nothing. I'm not very supportive of their...
What about Dennis Committee? Because Dennis Committee's widely...
Dennis is all right, you know. But there's really only one man for me.
The problem with you is, no one will ever measure up to Drew Morfitt in your eyes.
I know. Drew is
if it was up to you, you'd have Drew Morfitt just, commentating every game on the footy still. Probably in a bikini. Drew Morfitt in a bikini. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Your monitor seems to be... That's 100 over. That's
I'm going to go get some water.
The other fascinating technological advance, Paul, is now with these GPS monitors, we can monitor exactly where the players are going on the ground. Yeah. It's fascinating, isn't it? I mean, the technology of football has just come so far.
Look, it was amazing to see that after seeing that technology, that most of the players actually stay in the MCG for the night. That was great. That was great.
Do you think it's an invasion of privacy at all to make people wear a GPS monitor when they're playing footy?
Do you think that, Shane Crawford might find it embarrassing that he usually finds himself behind his player? Is that something that perhaps he wouldn't want? I don't know.
But anyway, I've put a GPS monitor on you for the last week. Yeah, and I just got a printout of everywhere all the ground that you've covered over the last week.
Everywhere?
Yeah, so it's fascinating. I mean, you went down to the bread shop this morning to get some bread.
Correct, yep.
Thursday you went and had lunch with your mum in Abbotsford.
I did. Yeah.
That was nice.
Beautiful little focaccia.
What's the crazy horse?
That's racing parlance. That was probably just Mooney Valley, just out there. There's do a Mooney Valley rap. Back streets, back. Why are we standing like this? It's unbelievable.
It's like in the bobsled. You said on the podcast last week that old people love eating ice cream.
Oh, have you ever seen an old person eat an ice cream? A 30-cent cone from McDonald's. Yeah. They savour it.
They're 40 cents now.
Are they? That'd disappoint them.
Alan Aylett made a promise. He's a former Kangaroos legend. Made a promise that after 50 years of marriage to his wife, so he must be getting on a bit now.
70s.
He said he'd get a tattoo. Presumably of a kangaroo or something. Maybe just above the...
that's horrible.
Pants line.
That's horrible. With old people?
Yeah.
Because everyone always says, I'm not going to get a tattoo because what would it look like, a 70-year-old woman with a tattoo of a fucking spider on her shoulder? But, this is totally the opposite. It'd be like painting a T-shirt. Remember when you were a kid and you painted a T-shirt and you had to stretch the T-shirt out before you put the paint on?
Paul, look, I know everyone's sick of hearing about it, but we should mention that Kevin Sheedy and Dennis Pagan were given their marching orders this week.
I'll tell you what, Kevin Sheedy got some coverage in the papers. Wraparounds, lift-outs.
27
years. He's dead. Do you think he's dead? That's what it was like. It was. I think I have a state funeral for him, but he actually gets to come and do his own eulogy. Is he dead? And Gary Ayres just is wearing one of those rubber masks like they wore in Point Break.
Now that's interesting because you mentioned Gary Ayres on our blog on the AFL show on the Podcast Network website as the potential, man to take over at Essendon.
He could step in.
Who is your tip to take over at Essendon? Is it really Gary Ayres?
Oh, look, I thought Gary Ayres or Robert Shaw, but people are talking about Mark Harvey. People are saying that Essendon will be able to nab Mark Harvey from the clutches of Fremantle. Pavlich has signed a deal to stay at Freo, and I don't think Mark Harvey's going to leave without him.
So pretty much anyone with the deep voice is in the running at Essendon?
Yeah, I think so.
If you're at the Essendon job interview, how would you, state your case?
I'd probably say something like,
I would like to be coach of Essendon.
Well, I think that'll pretty much do us for this week, Paul. It's been a pretty good wrap.
Yeah.
Things are really hotting up at the business end of the season.
Oh, I'll tell you what, that top 8 is looking unpredictable.
Now Collingwood lost something like 7 percentage points on the weekend, so they've gone back down to 6th, I think.
Yeah.
In fact, let's have a look at the ladder, because this is a really interesting visual representation. The ladder... This is the ladder last week.
Right. Oh, that was pretty just pretty nifty.
Down the bottom here. So that's the top 8.
Yep.
Now let's just have a look at the way the complexion of the top 8's changed. If I just click my fingers, we'll go... That's the live ladder we're looking at right now.
Ah, very swish.
So you can see that Hawthorn have gone for a bit of a tumble.
Yeah.
West Coast is suddenly back up there.
Yep. I tell you, that's a lot better than the Beyonce Niles falling over footage on YouTube this week. It's got a lot of hits.
Yeah, it's pretty high tech.
But can I have a go at the...
Yeah.
All right, because I mean, if you just click and whatever you want happens.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's going to be really interesting to see how that 8 takes shape for September, which is only a month or so away.
Yep.
So
until then,
it's getting chilly up here, isn't it?
We've just got to head off and
We're heading into
rape
spring.
and pillage.